So I usually start it with who are you and what do you do?
Yep. Cool.
So who are you and what do you do?
Yeah, Matt Wilson. I'm the owner and head brewer, well, only brewer at Moffat Beach Brewing Co. This is a small little brew pub on the Sunshine Coast.
Sweet. What's your favourite beer style?
Anything hoppy. I'm a massive hop head. Yeah, love my IPAs and pale ales, but yeah, I'll drink anything. I love my dark beers as well. But yeah, I do have a love of big hop heavy beers.
I mean, with that little 300 litre system you got there and
Yep.
inside your restaurant and bar and everything, I mean, the flexibility of what you can have a crack at is awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty nimble. I think we've been going since 2015, the brewery went in. We've been there in that site for since 2012. But I think we've done something like 40 different beer styles in that time, or
Yeah, awesome.
40 different beers, which is fun. It keeps it interesting for me, and and if it is something that's not great, well, it's only 5 or 6 kegs, and
Yeah.
it's not a disaster if it doesn't work out.
What's your favourite hop?
I'd have to say, I've been a big lover of Mosaic, but Shaz, my wife, and I and the family, we went over to the States earlier this year for a bit of a holiday, and I was really loving a lot of beers with that new Strata in it when we were over there. So I'm pretty keen to give that a crack as well. But Mosaic and Galaxy, I love those two. Amarillo, I'm a big fan of, and I like using Enigma as well.
What's a favourite brewery outside of your own brewery?
Oh, that's a tough one. Look, I've been inspired and inspired by a lot of local breweries here on the coast, but in southeast Queensland as well. The boys at Black Hops are knocking out some really good beers. But I was a massive Four Pines fan back in the day when they started off, But yeah, I'd have to say probably Modus is probably my favourite brewery outside of my own.
Yeah, cool. How was BrewCon?
It was fun. It was great. We've been going to them since the last one that was held here in Brisbane.
Yeah, okay.
But look, it's for me. I've always gotten a lot out of BrewCon, especially with the first one that we went to. We entered the beers and we got some pretty brutal feedback that first year, which really helps me hone my craft a little bit better. But look, it's great to catch up with a lot of other brewers that you don't really see that often. And the lectures are always good. And it's always if I pick up 2 or 3 nuggets out of that, it's great. And Shaz and I get a bit of a working holiday away from the kids as well, which is fun. But I was good. By the end of it, I was happy to get home. It was a big week.
It always is a big week. Yeah, I had a great time as well. How do you think the availability of brewing education is in Australia?
Look, I reckon that it's probably got a way to go. Look, I really enjoyed Richard's talk about how they're progressing with that. I think the fact that the only sort of probably formal course at the moment is the one down at Ballarat University or Federation Uni, what it is now, is that hasn't moved with the evolution of the brewing industry. So yeah, I'd love to see more TAFE courses come about, some more uni courses. But with the internet, it probably does make it a little bit easier for people to sort of get a bit more information. It would have been a lot harder sort of in the pre-2000s.
Yeah, I mean, we've spent a lot of work at Seagull setting up all the new online education platforms. I mean, we were online quite a while ago, but we've just kind of redone it all, relaunched it all just a couple of weeks ago.
Yep.
And I think that'll be a big game changer for sure.
Yep.
What do you think the biggest need in the industry is right now?
probably that education and getting some guys that on the ground. Yeah, getting guys sort of experience and qualified up. I know that there's a few breweries here on the coast that crying out for some guys with a bit of experience. The industry's exploded that quickly that it probably is a bit hard to get guys with that experience that's needed.
What's your worst brewing mistake?
My worst brewing mistake? Oh, I've had a couple.
I think everyone's had a couple.
Yeah, look, when I first started, just getting, because I've come from a home brewing background, just learning where all the pipe work went. I had numerous times, where I've sent wort into the hot liquor tank and things like that, which was nasty, but it made me learn it pretty quick. That was bad. I've only ever had to dump a couple of batches, fortunately. I probably should have dumped a couple more, but just learning the pipe work's probably the thing that I struggled with initially when we put the system in.
What about worst infection, and what did you do to fix it?
I've only had one that I'm really aware of, and it hurt us because it was our dead boyfriend cream ale, which is an easy drinking beer, which we sell a lot of, and it was a couple of weeks before Christmas, which being a holiday destination, it really hurt us because I just had to dump it down the drain.
Yeah, okay. And what do you think the cause of it was?
At the time, I was using dry yeast and I was repitching it, and I 100% certain that was something in my procedures there where something's got it into it.
And then it's just contaminated. So
contaminated it, and then
many times.
I took I had a taste of it. I could tell it wasn't right. And then I thought, maybe we could keg this off and pass it off as a saison. But nah, I couldn't. It had to go down the drain.
I mean, I'm just looking at all the beach here, mate. It's an amazing spot to be brewing.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. We're very lucky. Moffat Beach is on the northern part of Caloundra, and it's almost like a little peninsula. We're down here at Bullcock Beach at the moment. But yeah, we're very, very lucky to be operating where we are. Sometimes I take it for granted. I'm stuck up the back in the brew house quite a bit, and sometimes I just need to go out the front, stick my head out and have a look at the ocean. When we first started, I had grand visions of mashing in and going for a surf and then coming back, and that's never happened.
What about if there's a bit of a heatwave or hot brewing day? You must go jump in the ocean for a bit.
No, I do at the end of the day. Yeah, I'll
That'd be unreal.
Sometimes I just rip into a beer as well. But yeah, it is. We are very lucky where we live.
What do you think everyone is doing right or wrong in the industry?
It's a tough question, Dan. Yeah, look, I'm loving seeing the sours, and it's a beer that we haven't done yet, so we'll probably look at doing one of those soon. I'm not a huge fan of the kettle sours. I find some of them pretty one-dimensional.
Yeah, okay.
I wasn't a fan of the hazy IPAs. I found them unappealing to look at and unbalanced, but I think some of them getting a little bit more bitterness in them, and they're starting to taste a little bit better. I think the thing that we're all doing right is the collaboration, that everyone's willing to help each other out. I know here on the coast, if I've got a problem, I'll ring someone and they'll help me out straight away, even if it's you know, if I'm short of some hops or I haven't got an idea about something, you know, that's one thing that I think's great and unique about our industry, that you wouldn't necessarily see it in another industry.
And how did you get into brewing? So what were you doing before you were a brewer?
I was a soldier. Spent most of my 20s in the army, and then I left the army and I was working in finance in Sydney, which is where I met my wife. I got made redundant from a job and not really having a qualification in anything because I was in the infantry. We thought, what are we going to do? So my wife found this little place for lease where we are, and we thought, well, why not move to the Sunshine Coast and set up a bar? So we set up a bar, and we specialised in craft beer from the start because we figured, you know, if you want to get a 4X or a 2Es or a VB, you could just go to the pub or the surf club and get that. And you know, I love the craft beers that I was into at the time, which was admittedly Stone and Wood, which is still banging stuff, and it was Four Pines at the time. And just to train myself and educate myself on what it was that I was selling, I started home brewing in my garage. And we had that, where the brewery is, that was dead space. No one really ever sat there. And we thought, well, let's put a brewery in. So yeah, that's how it started.
Awesome. Living the dream, mate.
Sometimes. Look, it's hard work. As I said to you before, back at the brewery, because it is such a small system, we do struggle to keep up, and we only supply beer in our own venue. So yeah, it owns me. I don't own it, but I do love it. We have a great time doing it. We've got a great little local community. The locals have embraced it. You know, people walk down the hill, they have a couple of beers, you know, overlooking the beach, and yeah, it's a great little scene that we've got there.
That's awesome. So you're putting in a second side, to try and to meet demand?
Yes, we are. Yeah. After, you know, we had a very big year in 2018. You know, we did well at the Indies, so we thought we don't want to die wondering. We can't keep up where we are, so we just thought, we're going to have a crack, and you know, the fact that we can't keep up in our own little venue, at least we've got one client. So yeah, we just thought, if we don't have a go now, we'll die wondering. So we've still got to sort out the site. We've had a few issues with council, but we've ordered the equipment, so it's coming. So we're going to find somewhere to put it.
Wow. Okay, hectic.
It has been a bit hectic, but we'll get there.
What size are you getting for the second?
We're putting in a 20 hec. We were going to put in a 15 hec, but after talking to a few other people, we just thought we'll put in 20. And we went to China last year. There was a brewing equipment expo on over there, and we thought, we'll go over there. We've got all of the manufacturers of the equipment in the one place at the one time, and we can get together a bit of a short list of who we want to use. And for us, Tiantai sort of hit that sweet spot of price and quality, and they've done quite a lot of breweries here in Australia now. So we've gone with them, and they gave us a pretty good deal on a 20 hec system. So
cool.
Yeah, that's where we're at.
Sweet. Well, that's pretty much it, mate. That's all the questions I got.
Mate, thanks for dropping into the
No worries,
beautiful
mate.
Moffat Beach.